You ever go to like a teenager's dance recital?
No, I've never been to a teenager's dance.
Oh my goodness, they're so loud. It sucks so bad.
How was it? Where'd you go? What was it?
I volunteer with youth,
Oh, okay.
and one of them had like a dance thing, and they were like, "You should come," and I did. Everybody that's in dance is the most supportive people in the world, which is good. That's great. Like, but it's also the worst thing to watch ever if you are not in that world, because somebody just comes up and does like a cool dance move and the whole crowd is shrieking, not just like yay, like not clapping, not like ah, yeah, go Messi, like as if it's sports.
Yeah.
It's weird. I hate it.
What kind of dance was it?
It was like their end of year thing for their high school, so it was just a bunch of different types. There was like
freestyle.
There's like a jazz dance. There's
okay.
a girl that dressed up like Luigi and did tap dance.
Nice. To a Mario song, or
no,
just as Luigi?
No, I don't think she meant to be dressed like Luigi. She was just a very, very green shirt and overalls.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
so she was just weird. She wasn't trying to be Luigi.
No, yeah, and it wasn't even a bad outfit or anything. It was just such a green shirt.
It was a Gen Z outfit.
Yeah, kind of. But also, like, don't wear that green of a shirt. Like, you wouldn't wear that red of a shirt either, because you look like Mario.
Right.
Like, it was very, very Luigi.
Like, might as well put the hat on and everything.
Like, actually, I just... That's all I said. Is as soon as she came out, she's like, is she doing a Luigi thing?
Yeah, were you waiting for like Luigi's Mansion theme to start playing?
It seemed like it was going to be. Like, I wasn't even, oh man, she kind of looks like Luigi, right? Yeah. It was like, oh, is she doing a Luigi thing?
This should be interesting.
This is a, but no.
It's
never anything interesting.
Swan Lake.
Flow Rida.
Oh, Flow Rida.
I can't remember what it was, but there was a lot of very like club bass heavy music in a lot of the song, in a lot of the dance numbers, and it was too much.
It was the
dancing
always weird.
Was quite good actually.
I feel it's weird when there's like club music and there's a bunch of children, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
it
to
feels
be fair,
weird.
they suit like it's all mixes and stuff that are super clean.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying.
It's like, let's dance with the teenagers to Eminem, like.
Yeah. But I mean, some of the dances were really good. Any group that's just like super synchronized, is the best thing in the world.
Oh yeah.
If there's a group, even if like I don't think the dance moves are anything special, if they can all be like in sync on the beat, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
It's like that you ever watch that Japanese competitive walking?
No, I don't think so.
All they do is walk, but the whole point is it's a giant group walking, and they'll like walk and then change speeds in walking and then start walking backwards, and then like two groups will walk at each other and like weave through the crowd without hitting each other.
Okay.
And it's like they're just walking, but they're so in sync that it's really mesmerizing to watch. It looks like a group of NPCs that are just set to do the exact same thing.
All right.
And it makes it like super interesting.
Sounds awesome. The Japanese have some good
Is this the transition?
No. This isn't a transition. I could just transition now without any reason.
I thought you were going.
The Japanese have some interesting
things. Speaking of
Japanese things, Sonic,
Just Dance 2024.
So that brings us to our main topic. We're going to be discussing yesterday's Sonic Central show.
Oh my! Is this what we're doing? Was this the big twist? Is that you're making me
talk about the Sonic Central. Did you even watch the Sonic Central?
There was a Sonic Central?
Yeah, yesterday.
I didn't know that happened.
Oh, well, that's a shame because we're going to be talking deep into the Sonic Central show.
I do actually want to hear a little bit about it.
I will tell you that there wasn't much that you care about in
show
terms
off
of
Sonic Superstars again.
They did.
Yeah. And then like merch.
Okay, well,
that's always what
I'll tell you the best part of the show. The best part of the show is when Lego Eggman took over the show, like hacked into the mainframe, and the voiceover artist like showed up for a second, like, what's going on? And then Lego Eggman shows up, and then he did a rap in which he rapped about his mechs. He's like, I don't know the names of Sonic bad guys, but he said the bad, whatever those creatures are all called, like the Badniks, the mech, like he said that Badnik is one of them. And I know that sounds like a slur, but Badnik was like his main like bug bot or whatever.
Badnik.
Yeah. He took over the show and announced that he does his rap, and then he's like, I'm here for 3 things. 1, to rap about my mechs and badniks. Check. Big check, he said. And number 2, to show off, this is like some insider Lego Sonic thing.
Okay.
But he's like, to show off to the haters of the build Eggman, as in an Eggman made of bricks, that I'm now a cool minifig. Like it was a minifig Eggman doing the announcements.
Right.
So that's new apparently, because apparently Lego Sonic fans didn't like that he was a build. You had to build him. You didn't get a minifig of him.
I don't get why. That's rad, because he should be bigger than Sonic.
Yeah, there's this weird thing going on with Lego video game stuff though, where like we can't do the normal Lego sets. We have to do like these, like with Mario, it's like, oh, we can't have a Mario minifig. We're gonna make it like you can jump around and stuff.
Right.
Where everybody just wants a Lego set with Mario stuff in it.
I wonder if they'll ever do that. I really don't want them to do it with Bowser though. I think the Bowser minifig would be really lame. Because have you seen the buildable Bowser?
It's
so cool.
Yeah, the like
puppet thing.
Yeah, right.
It's so cool.
But that's like that is a set itself, right?
It's true, but it proportioned to what the Mario, like those those electronic
square
things,
Marios.
It proportioned to that looks really cool because he's way bigger. But
yeah. But it's just weird that they wanted. I think it's because they're video game developers. They're like, we want to make it like interactive. We want to make it cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Like instead of just Lego, you can make a build of whatever you want. It's like I think they're way more involved with the process than normally Lego is.
Well, yeah, that's just Nintendo being a toy company at heart.
Yeah.
Too.
So anyway, Lego Eggman announced that he's a minifig now.
Was there actually any announcement though that is of any games besides Superstars?
There was no new games. There was updates to games and like
Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah, a birthday bash DLC for Sonic Frontiers.
That's really sad.
It's so the whole stream was that like the like setup was that it's Sonic's birthday. I guess every year they do it around this time, and it's on Sonic's birthday.
That's so funny that like Nintendo is so like, I don't know, restraint with that kind of stuff. Like, oh, okay, so it is Link's or Zelda's 30th anniversary. Okay, cool. We're gonna release a new amiibo. They'll release like one new amiibo, and Sonic every single year is like, "Let's go!
It's my birthday!
It's my birthday!"
It was funny because it's like it's Sonic's birthday, and it's also Amy's 30th anniversary of existing.
Oh, so she has an actual significant thing, but they're
Yeah.
like, but Sonic's the one you guys care about.
Sonic's 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there was an update to Sonic Frontiers. One thing. Oh, yeah. You can unlock Lego Sonic in Sonic Superstars.
That is sick.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And apparently Lego Eggman is somewhere, like he can be a skin for the real Eggman as well, or something like that.
Okay, that's pretty sick, honestly.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I hope that game's good.
I hope so. That was the main. I mean, was there anything else? I mean, they showed off merch and stuff. Like
That's usually what they do.
Shirts and
Show like one first four figure.
Croc jewels. Like, you know how you can plug stuff into your croc holes?
Oh.
They showed off like Sonic's shoe and a ring and like stuff that you can just plug into your.
That's cool.
There's already Sonic Crocs, which are just like his red shoes.
Nice.
So you can plug some red. I didn't even know that these Croc jewels existed. That you just
really?
plug them into the holes.
You didn't know that?
No, I've never really worn Crocs.
They're the lamest thing. They're like charm bracelets, but they're putting them on Crocs.
Right.
And they're so
bad looking.
Yeah.
They look terrible.
They're funny. Like, if I had Crocs, I'd probably buy some because I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, there are Mario ones. I've seen them.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked terrible. Like the red Crocs with like a ring and a Sonic face and like a Sonic shoe.
Yeah.
And I think Tails was in there. It's like, what is this? This is terrible.
I feel like it's one of those, like, it's so, like, ironic. Like,
Yeah.
like, it's funny. I have Sonic on my foot.
Yeah. Oh, the other part of the Lego thing was there's a Sonic set that Eggman took over and put Eggman's face on Sonic's face, and he's like, I created this hashtag make Sonic more Eggman. Make Lego Sonic more Eggman. And he said if enough people use this hashtag, it'll be a real set, which I'm like, I guess that could happen. I don't know if it was a joke or if that's actually going to happen. But it's just a Lego.
Is that supposed to be a Make America Great Again?
I had that thought. I wasn't sure where he was going. I thought he was going to say make Lego Sonic great again for a second. I was like, whoa.
Make Sonic more Eggman. Sounds like it's trying to be a Make America Great Again.
Yeah, I had that thought. I don't know. I mean, I guess the phrase probably exists before that, but still, it felt like that before, for sure. And there's nothing else that I really cared about in the Sonic Central stream. I mean, they talked about the shows and whatever, and I don't know anything about it. Most a comic book or something. Amy's in games.
Amy is in games.
Sonic Mania. Not Mania, sorry. Sonic Origins.
Oh, I did hear there's doing a Sonic Origins Plus.
Yeah, they're just adding a bunch of games. And I don't know if Amy was already playable in Sonic Origins, but now she is.
Was. Yeah.
So, there you go.
That's fine. Did they fix its bugginess?
I don't know. I feel like that could be already have happened. Some Sonic Origins updates.
Yeah.
But they just added a bunch of Game Gear games, probably without doing anything to them.
Honestly, that's not bad just because I doubt those Game Gear games would have been put on anything.
Yeah, no.
Like, that might sell better.
They're not going to sell a Game Gear collection.
That's what I'm saying. That might sell better. That's probably their tactic is there's a bunch of Sonic fans that are like, oh, those games aren't purchasable anywhere else. Okay, I'll get the Origins collection.
Yeah, well, nobody was happy with the Origins.
That's what I'm saying.
When it was released. So just adding a bunch of, like, I think it was 12 Game Gear games.
Yeah.
Like, and probably half of them are, like, Sonic, like, Puzzle Blast or whatever. I don't know. But
if
still.
you're a big Sonic fan and you're like, those are 12 games that I can't get anywhere else, really? Yeah, I'm going to get that.
Yeah. So anyway, Sonic.
Thanks for listening, guys. This has been our Sonic podcast. Zooming in summer.
Sega knows what Sonic fans are like I can tell you that much. They know that Sonic fans eat up all the merch and the
It's true.
and the silly oh, Eggman took over the stream. That's crazy. And there's they talked about Tails too, which is a Tails YouTube channel or something. I don't even it was very weird and they have some funny jokes in there and
I mean, the best one that was ever done was, didn't they do a Sonic thing not that long ago?
They do a Sonic Central every year.
I don't know.
Since 2020.
Wasn't it less than a year ago? Wasn't it in April? And they did the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog?
That was just an April 1st drop. That wasn't a stream or anything.
Oh, it wasn't?
Yeah, they just announced and released what's it called?
The murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Is that what it's called?
It's called the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
They just announced and released it on April 1st.
Okay. That's the best thing that the Sonic team's done.
Yeah, it was great. It's a very good idea. It's made by the social team at Sonic.
I still haven't played it. I have it because it's free, so I just downloaded it. But
yep. So, so what we're actually here to talk about is the Nintendo Direct, which had a lot more interesting announcements, including Sonic Superstars. Actually, I kind of made a ordered list of the things that we won't care about and the things that we will care about.
Two separate lists?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's run through the not cares.
Okay, so I put them in updates to games that we don't necessarily there isn't that much to talk about.
Okay, let's go.
Splatoon 3 Splatfest,
boring.
Mint Chip, strange choice.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. The whole point is that it's a color thing. That's what it actually is in the gameplay. Right. You were literally spraying the color, and spraying brown looks bad.
Yeah, there are brown. I think there's brown paint in.
I think they stay away from it, honestly.
Well, whatever.
I mean, I have Splatoon 3.
Yeah.
I've played it. I don't remember ever seeing brown. So my guess is they've stayed away. Maybe they've done a light brown kind of tan thing.
Yeah.
But I think here's chocolate brown, people would go, look, I'm spraying poop. So
right.
They probably wanted to stay away from that.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Announcing a new Splatfest was weird to me.
It's a weird one. They kind of buried the lead too, because they put it as a side note also there's new modes that are going to be showing up. And it was yeah, that's kind of actually interesting.
Yeah, right.
It's not,
I expected a DLC announcement at the end of that.
I know. I want that campaign because I really like Splatoon 2, and the DLC campaign in Splatoon 2 is the best thing that Splatoon, in the whole Splatoon series. It was so good.
Because there already is DLC announced, right?
Yeah, they announced it and released the first wave or whatever.
So yeah, I was expecting the second one to be
the first wave
dated.
Was the suckiest thing. I didn't
even buy 1 map.
Yeah. It's just a skin of the lobby.
Right.
It's the stupidest thing.
Yeah. It's literally just reskinning
the lobby.
Your opening area,
yeah.
Right? You don't. Well, is there any?
No.
Just load in the game the same way and everything.
Yeah, it's just a reskin of the lobby to the original lobby.
Yeah,
and Splatoon 1, which is I guess that's cool if you want it, but
you'd have to
pay money for that.
You have to go back to the original one to do the side modes anyway, right? I'm assuming so. Splatoon 1 map, you can probably just load up the main game and that's it.
Yeah.
And I guess you can talk to Spike, which is pretty cool. I don't know if you get anything from that, but okay, that's a long time on something we don't care that much about. Pokemon, we could probably move on. We have no.
The music in it sounded sick. I wonder if it's still Toby Fox. That's all I have to say.
And yeah. Pokemon.
Everything else was
Pokemon DLC. That's not something either of us are going to be playing. Mario and Rabbids DLC.
I just saw King Babam. That looked cool.
Yeah, Robo King Babam, I think.
Nice.
He was robotic looking.
So that looked interesting. It looked like music themed. which I'm pretty sure the music in those games is cool. So
I'm waiting for Mario and Rabbids to be like $15 because
is it not? I'm pretty sure it goes on sale pretty regularly.
yeah, I don't think it's dropped that low, but it does. Like Ubisoft games specifically drop very quickly.
Yeah. After the DLC too, they'll probably do a DLC pack, and then that'll go on
sale.
sale.
Plus, there's a demo now, which was a good announcement.
Oh, that is new? I didn't know if that was new or. If
maybe it wasn't, but they re-announced it at least because the game apparently didn't sell very well.
That's a bummer, but also I didn't buy it, so I understand.
Yeah.
It reviews, like the first game reviewed well, so they made another one, I guess, but
yeah. Interesting. Yves Guillemot, is that his name? The president of Ubisoft?
I don't know.
The French guy.
I wouldn't know.
You don't know the French guy who was on stage with Miyamoto when they announced the first Mario and Rabbids?
No, all I remember from the first Mario Rabbids was that guy crying in the audience.
Yeah, the guy on stage
with
Miyamoto.
Can't think of it.
Okay, well, he's a French guy. He's very high-pitched. He's gray hair. Anyways, he's the CEO or president or whatever he is of Ubisoft. And he was recently in an interview just about Ubisoft in general, but one of the things he talked about was the sales of Mario and Rabbids and how apparently Nintendo discouraged them from making a sequel for the Switch. Like they wanted them to push it for the next console.
Ooh,
which was very interesting. One, because he kind of like hinted at a new console.
Yeah, they don't say that at all.
Yeah, and like that's someone who would know about a new console.
Yeah. Dude, I've been saving up money for a PS5, and I basically have enough. Like if I wait one more month, I basically have enough money. But we're so close to the end of the Switch life cycle, and you can like feel it in the air.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh, do I not buy a PS5 and just wait and get whatever the new Switch is?
I know. I can't justify having both at this point because I don't have enough time to play games. So if I got a new console, it would be a new Switch probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait another year to see if that exists. I'm assuming it does.
I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, he said that he basically was saying Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope did not sell very well, and that Nintendo discouraged them from releasing it on the base Switch because they think that a game like that would do way better on a new console because it's like we need new content.
It would be a console seller too, so if it came out with like near the beginning, people would be like, "Oh, it's a new game for a new system. I'll get it."
In general, Nintendo does kind of have this philosophy of one game per series on each console. And like it's not 100%. Like obviously we just had Zelda across the same
sort of, but they could argue that was a Wii U game.
You could think of it as a Wii U game. And like, they exist, Mario Galaxy 2, but there's the exceptions to the rule rather than like it being pretty common. Like usually we get one game, you can divvy it up in like, oh, a 2D Mario and a 3D Mario are different, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And Switch has a lot of ports now. So like there's a Pikmin 3, which I feel like a lot of people think of as a Switch game.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a Pikmin 4, but I think I'm getting ahead of. What's the next thing? We're supposed to not take time on these ones.
Mario Kart 8 Wave 5.
Looks good. Peter Piranha. Love it.
Yeah. I like Wiggler.
I like that they're doing new tracks because they basically, at the beginning when they were like, look at these DLC. This DLC pack will be old tracks from old games.
Yep.
And this is the second time that they've been like, oh, this wave's going to have a brand new, never before seen track.
I do want to let you in on a little secret, though. These brand new tracks are most likely early development tour tracks. Because Yoshi's Island, the new one from the last wave, it was released on Mario Kart Tour like a month after.
It still was good, though.
It's a great track, I agree.
It was a good track, whereas some of the ones that were originally Tour and then went to Mario Kart 8 weren't good.
Yeah.
So I don't know if because they're being developed as both,
So
they're good.
the thing is that they ran out of tour. Like there are still some tour tracks that they could put on Switch. But they kind of ran out of ones that made sense to put in Mario Kart 8. So
I just want the Vancouver one, and then no
Yeah,
more because,
yeah.
and that's just because I lived there, so it'd be
that's
cool.
well, my assumption is we're gonna get. Is it 6 waves? Is that the right amount? 6 times 8, 48 courses.
Is that it?
I think it's 6 waves. So there's one more after this one, and by the end of the year, there should be all released. So
Yeah,
So I'm assuming the wave 5 will be by the end of the summer, and then holiday for the last wave.
But yeah, Peter Piranha.
It's a good looking track, the one they showed off. I wish they showed off at least a couple more, but it's still very cool. The Zelda amiibo, they announced
They look nice.
Tears of the Kingdom amiibo. Ganondorf looks awesome.
Ganondorf looks awesome. Zelda looks cool just because she's floating.
Yeah. I like that she's got the Master Sword.
Yeah, it's cool.
Very cool. Okay, so some third-party games that we're probably not going to have much to say on. Stop me if anything matters to you. Palia.
Farming.
Myth Force.
Looks like it looks like what they pitched it as, so that's good, I guess.
Yeah, Saturday morning cartoon roguelike.
Yeah, it looks like that, so good job.
Remind me of Chaotix. Is that what it's called?
Chaotic?
Is that what it's called? Chaotic?
Yeah, it
had that similar art style.
The kind of 3D
like CG but not CG.
Yeah.
Gloomhaven.
I've played that as a board game, so that's kind of cool.
Okay.
Like it's already out on Steam and stuff, but it's cool.
Silent Hope. That's the RPG with silent protagonists.
Oh, right.
They don't know how, they can't speak. We made it a lore reason.
We couldn't afford voice acting, so we're like, oh, wow, why can't they speak?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked fine. It looked like any other. Oh, the one interesting thing about that is that the game that had Harvest Moon looking cows?
Yeah, I saw that too.
And they didn't say like, oh, made by the creators of Harvest Moon, or like
it was really weird, right?
In the Story
it
of Seasons,
exactly like one. So
yeah.
I was like, did we miss something?
I know, but they didn't mention anything, so I don't know.
I didn't. I was just kind of reading that these 7 protagonists were kind of homages to other games' protagonists, if that made sense.
Okay.
Like one of them was pretty close to Link. Like if you
and they go in the depths.
Yeah, that part was funny. The way they literally said depths, abyss, chasm. All those words were said.
Yeah.
Okay. Fae Farm.
I don't know. I've heard that it's good, but it's farming, and there's too many of those.
Yeah, and it's like fairy themed or whatever.
Yeah.
So cool.
Got a cute art style, I guess.
Okay, what else here do we not care about that much? Hot Wheels Unleashed 2.
I heard the first one was good. Never played it.
Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince.
I've the only thing that I think is kind of cool about that is I haven't done one of those since. So there was a Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior Monsters on Game Boy.
Oh, okay.
And so
I didn't look up the lineage of monsters.
So I saw somebody's like reaction video, and they were and they were actually freaking out because they were like, "I played that all the time as a kid, the Game Boy one." And
nice. So
I like hearing about that, even though I was like, okay, it's Pokemon Dragon Quest.
Yeah,
have fun.
Yeah. Persona 5 Tactica. Persona 5 Tactics game.
Yep, looks like what it sounds like.
Makes sense. Sounds like a good idea. Okay, so might care a little more about these next ones. Vampire Survivors is like
yes, let's go, dude.
Is it just it's like a cookie clicker. It's like a clicker.
Sort of. It's a bullet hell. But
you don't fire or attack. You just walk around and collect.
So here's why it's maybe the most pared down bullet hell, which is just the truth is, in bullet hells, what you do is you just hold the fire button.
Yeah.
Like, you don't actually think about firing. You just dodge things because that's where most of your mentality goes to. And so they were just like, oh, let's just make the firing automatic then.
Right.
So, but you're right. It's very cookie
Well, I
clickery.
heard someone else discussing the game and talk like it's already available elsewhere, so
But-
people have played it.
But the interesting thing is the 4-player co-op.
Right. That was a new
there was no
announcement.
multiplayer in that game at all.
Right.
So that is actually kind of like, I talked to our friend and I was like, hey, when that comes out, we playing it? And he was like, yeah, for sure.
Right.
So I'll have fun getting a few people together and just goofing around with co-op Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, well, it's an interesting idea having like a survival game where you don't actually like you just move, right? Like you just move and collect items to.
So there is, I don't want to say strategy. Well, I'll say there's strategy to it because certain power-ups pair well together with other power-ups, but you don't always have the ability to like get those power-ups, and you only have a certain amount of slots. So sometimes you're like,
you gotta sacrifice things?
Yeah, so you'll be like, ooh, should I get, that's a good power-up, but if I wait and get this power-up, those pair really well together.
Right.
So do I want to waste a slot here? So there is a little bit more depth to it than just running around.
Yeah,
But-
I heard someone talking about the game in a way that like you can get to a point where you're not even moving. Like
It's true, yeah.
you could get to a point. He described it as I was so powerful, I left the game on overnight and came back, and I was still alive.
Oh, in like an endless one?
Yeah,
There-
because
'cause
apparently you can get to a point where you're not. It's not locked to 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well, so I would be bored with endless, honestly, because the cool part is, well, surviving the 30 minutes, but also there's certain challenges that you can do in the game where it's actually like, oh, I need to do this in 30 minutes. Like, it says I need to get to this area of the map.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Okay. Next, we got Star Ocean, the second story R.
I
thought it looked really cool, like visually.
Yeah, it looks like they did the Octopath Traveler art style better.
Yeah,
I liked this better, and it was very slight. But I also think is it made by the same people that did like Octopath and did Live Alive
it's
remake
Square.
and stuff?
I don't know about the developer.
Because it had the like break thing,
Okay,
which was I only remember seeing in like Octopath Traveler things.
it could be. I don't think all those games were developed by the like same studio, but it's the same. It's the same publisher, so it could all be interconnected.
I don't know. It looked cool. I don't have as much interest as like if I was to get any one of those games, it would be Live Alive just because it has a more interesting story. It looks like I could be wrong. Maybe Star Ocean goes wild, but
Well, what I thought was interesting about Star Ocean was the visuals. It was the 2D HD thing, but the environments were like
3D.
yeah, like and like extra realist.
Yeah.
in the
Which
realistic in that way.
Which
like
part of me was like that. I don't know, the juxtaposition of that. Actually, I really liked, which I thought maybe I would have thought was dumb if you described it to me. If you were
Right.
like, oh, it's like 8-bit sprites, but like hyper realistic environments, I'd be like, that's gimmicky and stupid. But it looked nice. Like, I honestly wasn't like, oh, that's gimmicky and weird.
yeah.
It looked good. So, yeah. I
Side
probably
note,
won't play it, though.
Final Fantasy 16 just came out, and there's a feature in that sounds amazing that I would love for every RPG, which was I think they called it a lore freeze mode, in which in any fight you can pause, and it gives you a lore breakdown of who's fighting who and what's happening right now.
Whoa.
Like, who are these characters? Why are we fighting? Like,
That's such a, like, okay, we know that Final Fantasy's lore is so convoluted. So if you ever are like, why am I fighting this person?
Yeah.
Pause. Well, Gilgamesh obviously
Yeah.
destroyed Bethesda door and it's like, okay, gotcha.
I just thought that I would appreciate that very much.
I've heard the combat's really good in that game though, so
Yeah,
I feel like if I bought it to play, I wouldn't care that much about the lore. I would be like, that's a cool monster.
Apparently it's very Devil May Cry-esque.
Yeah, I heard that.
One of the designers is the combat designer for Devil May Cry.
Yep.
Or Devil May Cry 5, I think specifically. Okay, so next we got probably Manic Mechpanics.
Looks like Overcooked, but for cars.
Yeah.
Looks like fun.
It was basically Overcooked, but the conceit is you're a mechanic shop.
Every party game needs to be Overcooked now, apparently.
Yeah,
Because
they're doing a lot. What was the...
Moving Out?
Right,
Was it
yeah.
You Were a Moving Company?
Yep.
That one at least had some twists to the formula.
Sure.
Where you weren't just... This one looks pretty darn close to just what Overcooked was.
It really did.
It
looks
looks like... It looks a little too close for, like, my interest in it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you really like Overcooked and just want more Overcooked, I guess that's there.
It did. Yeah, it definitely just seemed like Overcooked, but for cars. Okay, so the next thing probably would be Headbangers Rhythm Royale.
I love it. I'm so in. I'm gonna get it.
Great
Day
idea.
one. It's basically you're these pigeons, and it's basically Fall Guys Battle Royale, but it's all rhythm mini games.
Rhythm-based mini games Battle Royale, and I think that's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
And some of them are like kind of Rhythm Heaven-esque.
Some of them are Rhythm Heaven-esque.
Some of them are more.
I think one player's leading and the other players are following.
Yeah.
And so one person like has to make a beat, so you're like boom, and then everybody else has to go, and whoever doesn't just gets eliminated. Well, I don't know for sure how it works, but
yeah, I think some of them were that Rhythm Heaven style, and then others were like kind of more traditional rhythm game, like meter on a bar kind of thing.
I really hope it feels like a rhythm game and not like a I don't know, just there's certain ones where they'll have a quote unquote rhythm game mini game, but when you play it, it just feels more like a timing mini game. Like it almost feels like a quick time event thing, and I'm worried about that. But other than that, it looks fun.
It's the same publisher as Fall Guys when Fall Guys initially came out. Now Fall Guys is under Epic Games.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Team 17.
Yeah, it was Devolver. Fall Guys was originally published by Devolver.
Oh, that sounds right. Actually, I don't know why I thought it was Team 17.
Because you're stupid.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so what are we missing here? We could probably talk about Sonic Superstars at this point.
Looks like fun. 4-player Sonic. I don't know how it's gonna work. I wonder if like Sonic will still be the lead, like how it was in Sonic 2, where it's more of a like, oh yeah, you guys you're playing, but like the lives, if you die, it doesn't count, and like stuff like that. Yeah. If you fall behind, it's fine, because you'll just get teleported back.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about the 4-player aspect of it. I don't know how fun that... It seems like you go too fast in a Sonic game for that to be fun.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably going to... The only way I could see it working is end up being like how Tails is in Sonic 2, where he's just kind of a... If he falls behind...
We're following one character and everyone else is tagging along.
I think it has to, at least for the real Sonic-y levels. What sucks is they never showed like 4 players on one of the like fast moments.
Right.
And I wish they did. Well, because it feels like they didn't show it for a reason. Because I feel like it might just not work at all. But it did show like some wacky gimmicky levels, which would be fun with 4 people.
All the people I've heard talk about getting to play it at events or whatever, it sounds like they've only been showing off single player.
So, and again, if you just want a new 2D Sonic game, that's great. I like 2D Sonic. Sonic Mania was like possibly my game of the year for when it came out, because I liked it so much.
Yeah.
So if you just want a good controlling 2D Sonic, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, that game looks pretty good. I hope it.
I'll probably get it.
It is interesting. Like it's very weird that they didn't make a Sonic Mania 2. You know what I mean? Like that they're like, oh, I guess this is successful, and we'll just bring it in house now. Like,
yeah, it's like they don't realize that developers like matter. Like it doesn't. Oh, well, if they did it, we can do it. Yeah, you just slap Sonic on a thing, and then
it really felt like
you call it a mania.
They threw these fans a bone. Like, yeah, I guess you can make a Sonic game. Like, we don't really want you to, but you know what? You did all right with these Sonic ports, so we'll throw you a bone. And then everyone loved it. It was like the highest rated Sonic game ever, basically.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, I guess people do like 2D Sonic. We'll make one. And then like that's a good segue to talk about Penny's Big Breakaway.
Dude, that looks so fluid movement.
The 3D platformer made by the team that made Sonic Mania.
I feel like there's not much we can discuss about it besides like people should just go watch the trailer, because all I can say is that the movement looks really fluid. You have this like grappling hook move, but you can just use it kind of like, I don't know if you've played Monster Hunter Rise.
Barely.
They've got like in Monster Hunter Rise, there's like this grappling hook move, but you can just use it wherever. You basically grapple to the air.
Oh yeah, that was the gimmick of the game, right?
In Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like it's the gimmick in this one is you have this yo-yo.
Yeah.
You can use the yo-yo as like a car where you're like rolling on top of it, and then you can also use it to like
swing.
As like a swing. The movement looks incredibly fluid.
Yeah,
so
it has a Mario Odyssey vibe, like in the gameplay part, not necessarily the visuals or levels.
So what I'm hoping is, have you ever played Hat in Time?
No, but I know it.
So Hat in Time everybody loved because it basically harkened back to like the PS2 era of 3D platformers, which just didn't exist.
I thought people thought of it as the like 64 era.
Like people might have said that, but if you've played it,
it's more the
it
PS2,
feels more
GameCube era
to me. Like maybe the art style kind of gives that, but as far as actual gameplay,
I remember the developers talking about it in a like, we love Banjo-Kazooie, we love Conker.
And that's fair. Honestly, compared to Banjo-Kazooie isn't wrong, but it looks way more like a PS2 game, I think. And that being said, when I played it though, I remember hearing about just like, oh man, the movement in that game is great, and I did not like it nearly as much as I thought I would. This one looks like it's going to be really fluid movement. Like that's their main focus is just movement. So I'm down.
I heard people talk about it, and I agree with this sentiment that it feels like a Sega platformer. Like if they made a like new, a new what's the word I'm looking for?
Well, it's a bunch of Sonic fans making it, so yeah,
a mascot platformer for like the Saturn or something like that. Like it and like even the logo, that like cool like retro aesthetic the logo has. It's like they know what they're doing.
It looks pretty good. I'm probably gonna get it.
Yeah, it looks like I think it's gonna do well and be good. So then we got some, let's say some old games releasing on the Switch. First one being Batman Arkham Trilogy.
I mean, if you've never played those games, that's good. And you want to play them handheld or something.
I've played Arkham City. Arkham City is a good game. I've never fully played Arkham Asylum, and it's apparent. I think most people would say it's the best one.
I feel like you hear that, but also
I hear Arkham City sometimes, but I think looking back, more people like Arkham Asylum.
That might be a taste thing more than anything, though. It might just come down to taste, because if you're a big, I like just going and exploring, that's Arkham City. Whereas if you're like, I like a Metroidvania,
people would describe the first one as a Metroidvania.
Then you would want Asylum.
Yeah, and the third one, which like
I want to see how that'll play.
Yeah.
Because that's newer.
because they showed off mostly the first two in the trailer,
yeah.
and I'm like, I don't know. We'll see if the Switch
Like,
can handle that.
The first two will play fine.
Yeah, no,
For sure. The
PS3 games, they're fine.
Yeah. But, yeah, it's hard to tell. It might do... What was Origins on? Or not Origins?
Arkham Knight, it was PS4 and Xbox One.
It could do okay. It could do fine.
It'll probably be okay. I mean, there's some newer games
Probably
that have been released on Switch, so
it's probably just an optimization thing.
yeah, I'm sure they'll figure it out. The next one would be I guess we should get Just Dance out of the way. That exists as well.
Yep.
Just Dance 2024.
It
Get
exists.
excited. Did you know that? So did you notice the infinity symbol?
Yeah, so they're trying to do it's this plus it's a subscription thing.
Yeah, and I thought this was interesting. You know how everybody's like with these annual release games, it's like, when are they just gonna do a subscription? You keep the same game year round, like, and they just update it. This is the opposite of that. The Infinity, like the Just Dance Infinity or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
It's a subscription for everything before. So every previous Just Dance song is available in the new game.
Oh, wow.
So it's not a subscription for future games. It's a subscription to get every previous game's song list.
Honestly, for that kind of game, you kind of have to. It's way too hard to do licensing, and
yeah,
you can't do that.
Yeah, I thought that was actually a good idea. Like, I know that like Guitar Hero and Rock Band towards the end, they were running out of ways to bring songs forward. So you were like, I mean, Rock Band was better because you like paid for music and you got to keep your library for the most part. But I remember with Rock Band 4, it being very like, why doesn't every song carry forward? Like, I have these songs locked back to Rock Band 2 and 3. Like,
you honestly almost should release rhythm games of that nature on PC, and then just like, obviously don't say it, but people will mod it to just put their own games and like put custom tracks in and stuff.
Yeah.
And just kind of let that happen, and then just sell a bunch of like aesthetic packs.
Yeah.
Because people would buy those and then mod in their own music.
Yeah, moving on from Just Dance, we got the Metal Gear Master Collection Volume 1.
That's exciting.
That's very exciting.
I honestly have not played any of those games, so now that they're on Switch, I probably will.
I'm so glad that I don't have to hook up a PS3
yeah.
to play.
And it says Volume 1, so hopefully 4 and 5.
Yeah, people have gone into the website's assets.
Yeah,
and
of course.
They believe Volume 2, based on some of the assets on the site, is Metal Gear Solid 4, 5, and the PSP one, which is
VR
called...
missions?
No, that's in the first collection.
Oh, is it?
VR missions is attached to Metal Gear Solid 1.
Oh, okay. I just didn't see it. Maybe I just missed it. Or maybe
I don't think it was said in the trailer or
okay.
anything. I think it's just on the website or whatever.
Okay, cool.
Or a press release or something. No, Volume 2, they think it's 4, 5. I'm assuming both 5 games. Phantom Pain and what's the first one called? It was basically a demo. Ground Zeroes. Yeah, and then, oh my goodness, I can't remember the PSP one right now. It's called Metal Gear Peace Walker.
Peace Walker.
That was the other one they think will be in.
Cool. I'm down.
But yeah, Volume 1 is great. I'm excited to see what they do with the first game, Metal Gear Solid 1.
Why?
Some of the Psycho Mantis stuff.
Oh, right.
I'm curious.
I mean, if it's on, they can still do it. They can still do the vibrating controller.
But what do you
part.
do? What do you do with a portable Switch, like, what's the plan? Like, what is
Set down your whole Switch. Well, you technically don't have to do any of it. I'm pretty sure you can just. He'll say, "Set down your controller," and then you'll go, "Okay, it's set down," and then you just feel your right thing vibrate, and then your left thing vibrate.
Do you know all the stuff that Psychomantis does?
Yeah, the reading your memory card,
Yeah,
and being like, "Oh, you like Suikoden, don't you?"
yeah, that stuff I assume will not.
Yeah.
Like, maybe if you have like the Castlevania collection, he'll say you like Castlevania. Maybe that's the
That'd
limit.
be cool.
But if the main big thing is the controller port too.
I forgot about that. But
where you have to plug in your controller to port 2. That's for the original. On the
I wonder. So they could totally do just like a repair your controller, which would be a little bit lame. But if it just disconnected your controllers and then you were like, "Oh, okay, reconnect, repair."
yeah, I wonder if there's a way to go into the system and make you pair to
Pair
number
two,
2.
but
No, like you
can't-
can't. You cannot make it so that you have to pair
two control.
two
That's the
controllers.
only way.
You can't do that because that's not feasible for a game. Otherwise, you'll be stuck. But what if there was a system-wide way to make it automatically pair 2, like to controller 2? Like if you have one controller, but when you go into the pair screen, the first one's blocked or something like that. I don't know if that's a thing that they could do.
Or it just moves you to second player, and then you have to move it back to first player.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't even know if maybe. Apparently, there is a way to beat it without the controller port stuff.
Okay.
Like, if you had Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PlayStation and you were dumb and you couldn't figure out what they're hinting at,
yeah,
you could beat it in some way. I don't know
right.
how you would do it. So it's possible that they would just make it really lame and you have to beat it without doing that.
We'll see.
But there's stuff like the PS3, I think they had a way for you to disconnect and connect to player 2.
It's actually easier in PS3. Yeah,
Is it?
It literally is like you hold down the button and then you assign it to number 2 rather than
Right.
It's really easy in
Right.
PS3.
That's right. I remember
but-
on PS3 you could pick your which
Yeah.
controller you were. On PC, this is an awesome thing they did. If you are playing with a plugged-in controller, it forces you to use the keyboard.
That works.
And I think it does. Well, I guess
It can't do the opposite.
Can't do the opposite. But if you, I mean, most people were probably not playing on a keyboard for that game. I mean, I would assume, but so that's a funny thing is that like
Okay, so-
it forces you to do a keyboard.
So if there's a way, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I don't know what the plan is, but they'll do something probably.
Cool. When I play it, I'll just have 2 controllers connected at that time and see
Just so you get it
to see if
it
something
exists.
does happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that they're also including the old Metal Gears 1, 2, and the NES
Yeah.
ports
yeah.
as well. Did you know that the NES ports, there's Metal Gear 1 and Snake's Revenge?
Snake's Revenge.
Did you know Snake's Revenge, Kojima was not involved in that game whatsoever?
Is it bad?
It's not very well liked.
Okay.
It was a I don't want to make a sequel for the NES. It's like, oh, okay, well, we'll do one. And so they just made kind of whatever, kind of loosely.
Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Where they just kind of loosely based it on the first one and made their own thing. It wasn't, because Metal Gear 1 for the NES is the kind of port of the MSX games.
Yeah.
But then I guess he didn't want it. He was focused on something else for the
Cool.
or whatever, something like that, and then he's not involved with it, whatever. And I haven't figured this out if this is the case, but I do wonder if that game has been included in any previous collections. Like Snake's Revenge. I wonder if that was even in like the Legacy collection for the PS3 or something like that.
I don't know. Yeah,
Because
I
would
remember
assume
it.
I would assume if Kojima was involved in any of those collections,
Right.
he wouldn't have put it
He'd
in.
be like, no, that's nothing.
That doesn't exist.
All right.
Yeah, there's.
I'll play. I'll probably get it, but I don't know if I'm gonna play everything. I'll just play the main.
The main three.
Yeah.
Maybe touch the first
Maybe touch
MSX one.
VR
or something.
missions too, but
Right. Metal Gear Solid 1, I really want to play through. I think it's. I mean, when I was
history.
when I was playing it on the PS3, and I didn't get very far because you have to play it on a PS3.
Right.
But I was like, this game's really cool.
It's cool.
It's just like it's
Psycho Mantis.
It's impressive what they did in '98.
Shadow Moses Island.
And the like voice acting, you're like, this is like obviously makes sense for what I know about Metal Gear, but it's like I'm kind of shocked at how like cinematic this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, anyway, I think that's all is there anything else in the third-party games? I don't think so. I think that was everything. So then we could move on to the first party, which I've ordered by interest. Detective Pikachu.
Love it.
I like the coffee jokes.
Okay. Do you feel like was that a localization thing? Did he have a cigarette or something?
No, I think that's the same across the board. He loves coffee.
It felt so much to me like, oh, they would have given him cigarettes if.
I don't think it's a localization thing. I think it's a G-rated thing. Like we're gonna yes, if this was
that's the joke.
If this
though.
was a teen-rated game, he would be smoking.
That's the joke. Is one day he's gonna there's gonna be a part in it where he's like, oh, I got to get out of here. I'm gonna get myself a cup of coffee.
Or it's like
and
alcohol.
And he's like drinking a cup of coffee on the side of the road.
Yeah. Well, it's a play. It's a detective game, and it's playing on old detective stories.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
There is a character, and I was very surprised to see this kept in the game and not taken out either just by Nintendo of Japan or Nintendo of America. There's a character that you find, and he's like got a beer bottle next to him.
Really?
Yeah.
And you know it's beer?
I don't know it's beer, but it's pretty alcohol looking.
Yeah, but when like if there was a story reason to explain that bottle, it would be pop. Like it would be a soda.
They would say something. They would say it's whatever
Root beer.
Whatever from Gerudo. It's like, oh, this is the natural
or
spring.
milk.
It wasn't milk though.
Okay.
Like it is very clearly.
Is it fine to say where this is?
Spoilers if you care. Boop, 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 boop. Skip like 10 seconds. It's in Lurlin.
Oh, okay. Which guy?
When you rebuild the
I did.
lucky treasure.
Oh, the treasure shop. Okay.
Which is the guy who should have it.
Right. The gambler.
Yeah.
Place.
But other than that, okay. No spoilers. What's the thing? Detective Pikachu looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine. I mean, it looks like the same as the first one.
Yeah.
And it's like really low poly. Like, okay, I guess this was a 3DS game at some point.
Yeah.
So great. And it's a new game, right? It's not an old game.
No, it's a sequel.
Let's go with WarioWare. Move It.
Love it. Going to get it. Day 1. 100%. You're coming over. We're playing it.
Great. Is it 4-player?
So
I couldn't tell.
There's like a party mode that's 4-player,
Okay.
but then there's like a co-op campaign
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So I'm pretty sure
Like them Get It Together.
like Get It Together. I think they're doing because it said, or maybe they just liked the co-op thing. So maybe there's 3 things. There's the single player, and then there's the co-op, and then there's the party mode. And the party mode, it looks like they're trying to do a sort of Mario Party board game thing too.
Right. Yeah, I saw that.
The only problem I see with it is you need to have so many Joy-Cons. because
Right.
it says you
Two
are
for
using
each,
2
right.
Joy-Cons,
That's right.
which I don't even have that many for 4 players.
I have 4.
Yeah.
4 Joy-Cons.
So you have 4, like, total, though, like 2 pairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, which would be fun. The kind of people I'm going to be playing it with are big nerds anyway, so I'll just say bring your own Joy-Cons.
Yeah, it looks good. I
Yeah.
like that it's more. I Get It Together was an interesting experiment, but it didn't feel the same as a WarioWare.
No, it did have a cool thing, especially when at a certain point you unlock random,
Right.
which is you're randomizing the character that you're playing it
Yeah,
on,
which is
and you're
cool.
getting a random minigame, which made it like super random because it was like I don't even know what micro game I'm getting or what control scheme I'm going to get to play that micro game.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's a kind of cool idea. But at the end of the day, it made most of the games feel really similar. Not most of the games,
Yeah.
but it made a lot of games
It made it feel
similar.
kind of platformy and like, you know what it made it feel like? It made it feel like the Brawl WarioWare stage.
Yes.
You know how you like there's
Yeah.
there's only a few, but like you dodge the foot stomp and you smash the
Did
statue.
I play it with you? Or
Yeah, we played the whole thing. We went it to
Oh, yeah.
Ethan and Ian, at that time Ian's house.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was fun though. It was a fun
Oh
day.
yeah, it was fun. It was great.
We played through the entire thing
Well,
and
we
basically never played it again.
Yeah, like why play it again? We played through the whole story
Yeah.
or whatever.
But
or after what, like 3
listen,
hours, 2 hours?
That's probably what's gonna happen again. Is I'm gonna get people over and we're gonna play it one time and then never play it again. But it'll be fun.
But there was no. I can't remember everything about Get It Together, but wasn't there like not really collectibles and like you know you could unlock little.
So most WarioWare games have like you collect these little toy things, and they're
Yeah.
just a fun little wacky thing. But they feel good to get.
Yeah.
And it is cool. They're always a funny thing to look at. Like the DS one had like, oh, this is jelly, and you just poke it and it jiggles, and that's all it was. And it's like, but it was fun. It was a really cool thing to collect because you actually kind of cared. Every time you got a new collectible, you were like, oh, what's
Yeah.
that? I'll go check it out. One of them was Link's grandma from Wind Waker,
Yeah.
and she had boiling hot tea, and you had to blow into the mic of the DS to cool down her tea, and then she would give you wisdom.
Great.
It's such a stupid thing.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I just want more of that for the new WarioWare, and I do hope they're like. I'm assuming the way they talked about it, it sounds like it's like TV mode only, like
Oh, yeah.
stick to it's all motion or whatever.
Yeah.
But I hope there's like a portable like something mode, like even just a basic. I mean, I guess you can play the original WarioWare if you want to.
I feel like they would have shown that, though.
Probably.
But
It does feel it does make it makes the new Everybody 1-2 Switch game so like obsolete.
dude, that game does not look good. Honestly, I was still planning to get Everybody 1-2 Switch because I just like party games.
Yeah,
I'm a big party game guy. And I was like, oh, new party game. It's got some wacky things. Sure, we'll get it. And it's got some phone capabilities, even though those didn't look good. And then they announced WarioWare. I was like, okay, so I'm not getting that.
Yeah. Did you watch the trailer for it? They released it
Yeah.
at midnight, like with the influencers and stuff.
Yeah.
The influencers nobody had ever seen before.
Yeah.
It was like very weird.
Well, it's because it's
the horse mask.
It's all like Nintendo influencers, right? So it's
Yeah.
relatively small channels, but ones that are super squeaky clean and are like, oh, I love Nintendo. Everything about it. I've never had a problem with them.
Yeah.
I'm never upset with how they do business.
Right. Exactly. That's the type of influencers it was. It is very. I saw someone describe it, and they were totally right. It was like a weird like Squid Game-esque trailer
kinda
where
feel
they're
like
like
that.
all, we've gathered you here all for this
Well,
game.
honestly, what I thought about it is like if you could get a like youth group church event together it actually looks kind of sick.
That does seem like the right scenario.
If you were like, here, it's up on the projectors, everybody scan the QR code, and we're gonna all play this game together. That's actually pretty fun.
That seems like the best way you could be playing that game. I don't think you playing that game at home by yourself or with another person.
Because
sounds terrible.
For the phone games, it says you have to be on the same Wi-Fi network.
Oh, does it?
So
you can't play online?
For 100 people.
Oh, boy.
So what?
Oh, yeah, you couldn't even...
So what context?
You couldn't Twitch stream play it. Oh, it sucks.
So what context are these 100 people? It has to be youth group events.
Yeah, bring it to some big event. I guess that's the way to do it. Anyways, that's WarioWare.
Yeah.
WarioWare looks better.
Yeah, then everybody would do Switch.
So here are the biggies. We got Super Mario RPG Remake.
That's a great game. I've played it. The music is going to be so good.
Yeah. We talked about it after the fact, and you said that, and I didn't really think about it when I was watching, and then I watched it again. I was like, oh yeah, you're right.
It's going to be so good. And it also, because it's so good, it made me look up who makes that music.
Yeah, they're I don't know the name, but it's a she, and she's done all the Mario RPGs.
So much. She's done all the Mario RPGs. She did. She's a little involved in the new Mario and Rabbids RPG.
Right. Yeah. Worked with.
She did
Grant
Live
Kirkhope.
Alive.
Live Alive. Yep.
I can't remember all of them, but it's a pretty good track record. It's not like I've heard something about every single one of those games' music, but I've heard enough. There were definitely more than one where I was like, oh, I hear people really like that game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, no, it definitely got me excited. I wasn't when it first popped up and you saw the new style, I wasn't 100% sold. But the more they showed of it, I was like, you know what, this works.
Okay, the only hopes I have, and this is why I actually like that they did a full-on just 3D style and not some weird artsy style, is there are, and they showed a bit in the trailer, there are platforming components to that game, and those are janky because it's an isometric weird thing.
Yeah, the weird
and it's still
angle.
Isometric, but I hope that they can tighten the platforming just a bit.
The new style will probably make it easier. And yeah, the platform, if they make Mario just control a little more like actual Mario, not too much. You still want it to feel as it did, but especially when you're jumping on these little platforms that are
it's pretty brutal,
not really meant to be
in an
platforming
isometric view.
They're more. It's it's weird, right? It's not like you're jumping on platforms. It's you're jumping on pieces of the map. It's not it's not meant for it.
It's weird. So if they can tighten that, and then also some balancing issues where I felt like certain times I had to grind and stuff like that. Sometimes you get stuck at a boss and you're just do I have to just go back and grind? Do I have to go all the way back and just buy a bunch of items?
Yeah.
If they can make that a little cleaner, but again, the game is so cool and weird, and it's got weird characters, and it looks like they didn't do a Paper Mario thing where they just are everybody's Toad now, and
no.
There's all these weird characters, so I'm down. Yeah. I think it looks so fun. All you need to do to get me into a RPG is make it weird.
Make it weird.
Make Earthbound.
It slightly active.
Yeah. Just let me tap A button every time I attack so that it feels like I'm actually doing a thing and I didn't just select a thing for my robot character to do.
Yeah, the few bosses and enemies we saw were oh, you just made it.
It looks
recreated it in this new style exactly how it should be.
It looks pretty much the exact same. I heard some Uber fans being oh, they changed this.
Yeah, the female boss. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, the schmexy one.
Yeah, she doesn't
Cleopatra.
She doesn't shake her boobs anymore.
Oh man. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty faithful to it.
Yes, it's very.
The music sounded exactly.
The music. Oh, and it does the thing. It does the thing that I love with reorchestrated old games in that it sounds exactly how you think it should.
Yeah.
Like it's how like
it was synthesized saxophone, so now it's just a real saxophone.
Yeah, the SNES games use these synthesized orchestras or instrumentations, and it's like they did it right. Like they did the reorchestrated classic songs, and they sound perfect.
And they didn't try and add too many flourishes in it. Sometimes you'll hear a remake, and it's like, oh, see, it's the old song, but we made it even jazzier.
Yeah, we made it half the song a solo that someone came up with on the day.
Yeah, the only game that's ever done that, and it has been fantastic, is Mario Kart 8. And that's like an outlier.
Yeah, but those were original songs.
Well, some of them.
Oh no, you're right.
Some of them are
remakes,
and where they added crazy jazz solos. But Mario Kart 8's its own beast. That game, the music is just amazing.
I feel like most of the big solos were in new tracks anyway.
Yes, true. But there were some where it's like, oh, this song's, I like it jazzy, and then it went on a crazy solo, and it was like, oh, okay.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm interested in what they do for the future of Mario RPGs. If this
sells well, hopefully Paper Mario goes back. I don't care if it goes
I
back.
think they're done making Paper Mario an RPG. I think what it could signal is a new RPG, either a Mario RPG 2 or back to Mario and Luigi. Like I would love,
dude, a Mario RPG 2 that goes right after this one would be the most insane thing.
I think that'd be really cool.
It would be so cool.
I think that would be, what I would hope they do.
Dude,
is
just a Geno game. All Geno.
Well, you could even do a Mario RPG 2 that has nothing, doesn't have, if you're having a hard time keeping Geno and Malo rights in order, you could just do a new Mario RPG with a new cast.
But you gotta make characters
interesting.
Yeah.
And weird.
Yeah.
Malo's a cloud.
He's a frog.
Right. he's a cloud adopted by a frog.
He's adopted?
Yeah. Stop.
Listen, it's a big plot point.
Yeah, but they call him a cloud before.
No, but he says, I'm a frog. He goes, no, I'm a frog. What are you talking about?
Yeah. I remember thinking he was a chicken.
I remember you saying that, which I kind of see.
And now you can't. Now he doesn't look like one. But in the 16,
because he's got the little pink thing on his head, and it kind of looks like a glortle or whatever those are called.
Yeah.
Anyway, that game looks good, but it also looks like exactly what it was. So
right, which is fine. I don't need
Not
it.
a lot of people played it, and it's a hard game to come by now if you're trying to get the original cartridge.
Yeah. It's a recreation remake.
Have you seen the cover art? I both love it and hate it.
Isn't it just basic?
It's just white with the characters.
It might be
on
placeholder.
It might be placeholder, but that is what the box art looked like in Mario RPG, like the original.
Isn't it? No.
Look it up. Not what the cartridge art is, what the box art is. It's white, or maybe just the Japanese one.
Oh, maybe it's the Japanese one.
But
I thought the box art was the castle.
Okay, so maybe that's it in North America. But there is maybe it's just the Japanese one where it's just the characters on a white screen, and so
I'm okay with it.
I like that it's a callback. I like how simplistic, but it also is it's the characters on a white screen.
One thing that I thought of that I haven't heard anyone else talk about is that they dropped the subtitle, Legend of the Seven Stars.
That is interesting, actually, because from what I saw, the plot is very much Legend of the Seven Stars.
It is. Oh, it is the game. It's the same game. I'm just wondering if there's more than just a marketing reason for that.
It might just be a marketing reason. I could see it totally being let's get rid of this. It seems too. I feel like if you just put out Super Mario RPG, Mario fans will buy it. If you put out Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars, there's going to be people that are like, I mean, what is this RPG Gilgamesh?
Yeah. I just wonder if there's any like hint of we'll make a sequel called 2 and without a subtitle, but I don't know. That's just, it doesn't really.
I don't see that being the case, but it could, I guess.
Yep. So in that Mario RPG block, we also got a small hint at a Peach game.
I said this to you. It looks like they leaked their own game.
Yeah, it's very weird
because it doesn't show, like, okay, game doesn't have a title yet. Fine, but it doesn't have like, you couldn't make a cutscene and just like show a teaser cutscene rather than showing.
Yeah, very weird, right?
Very, very like it did look like a leak. That's how a lot of leaks are, where it just shows like a character running through a level and everybody goes, "Oh, it's a character running through a level," and that's all they showed.
What was the like? Okay, so Peach walks around on the stage, and then when she appears on this spot, she turns into what was that?
So annoying. So I can't tell. What I'm hoping is that it's like a completely different thing, and what we thought was like, oh, that looks like very constrictive gameplay, because it kind of did.
Her dress was turning blue, right?
True, but it was also like glowing and stuff. So I don't know. I'm hoping it's like she stands on this specific thing and she gets like totally transformed and it's fully different, because that gameplay looked so like nothing.
Yeah, no.
It looked like
it looks easy for sure, but that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I'm okay with it.
It doesn't look like
easy.
a platformer.
I don't think they should do like as easy as like Yoshi stuff though, because Yoshi stuff is too easy where like I guess I could play it with my kids, but I could also play a cool game, which my kids will also enjoy. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
It almost had a like a side-scrolling brawler vibe, like the
Dude,
movement.
If the combat goes that wild, I'm actually so in. Somehow turning a Princess Peach game into a like beat 'em up, would be so cool.
I mean, I don't. Like, it may be vaguely like that. I doubt it would actually be that.
I don't think it is at all, but I would be so down.
I just mean the camera angle and the like pseudo 3D environment.
Now, will emotions play a factor? Is the real question.
I doubt it,
because I think
the thing will be dresses. Like a bunch of dresses based on that small gameplay.
People are gonna call it so sexist. It's going to be so funny.
Well, because
they already called the first one sexist a bit, because it was like, oh, so yeah, it's a game for a girl, so it's all about emotions.
This one's all about clothes.
And this one's a girl. Oh, so it's all about the different clothes she can wear.
Well, my thinking in this is we're on a like stage for a play or whatever, and we're gonna have different wardrobes. We're gonna have like different sets.
Okay, so this is kind of what I was trying to get at. Is if it was very much like that. So if it was, oh, she stands on the platform, she's dressed up like a cowboy. Now you're playing a Western.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be so sick, and I would be so down.
Yeah,
because that sounds fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's stupid that they showed so little of it.
That you can't even process anything about it, because it's like, okay, show me it next year.
Even if they like, they should have just shown like a picture of Peach and just said new Princess Peach game in development. It almost would have made more sense,
right,
than to just be like, look at her running.
I think you just need. I think the gameplay, having gameplay is fine. I think you just needed one of the like a title at least. Like,
well. See, that's the thing. It's probably not got one. It's probably got a working title because it looked so early.
Yeah, I know, but you should have come up with one. Like,
I guess
you should have figured one out by now. Let's figure it out. Peach at play. Peach's princess.
It's gonna be super. I think it's gonna be Super Princess Peach, because the DS one was Super Princess Peach.
Don't you think they want to divorce themselves from that though? Like make it a new title?
Didn't people kind of like that game?
I don't know.
I thought people, even though it was like sexist and whatever, I think people that actually played it were like, it's pretty fun.
It was easy. I remember it being said that it was like really basic. But I'm sure. I feel like it'll
maybe they took away the subtitle of Mario RPG so that they could add it.
It says Peach Legend of the Seven Stars.
And they were like, oh, we can't have 2 games with 7 stars in the subtitle.
That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll
I assume it will be Yoshi level of easy gameplay.
I will probably buy it.
Great.
Just because I want them to make more different characters and I know it's the same character and she's had a game before, but
yeah, where's my Waluigi game?
Yeah,
that's next. Anyways,
that's next.
That's what they announced next.
No,
they announced a Luigi port.
Yeah, it's Dark Moon port. I've never played that one, so I might get it.
That's the one where there's multiple mansions and they're all different themed.
But they haven't even ported the first one.
Yeah, it's also on 3DS though, so that could come.
But why wouldn't they have done the first one before they do the second one? I'm a little bit annoyed with that, especially because it doesn't make sense. Because of other announcements that we're about to get to.
Also, the first one, the 3DS version at least, has Luigi in it. Because
what?
Luigi,
they added Luigi into the 3DS port?
That is where Luigi debuted.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it just to make it a multiplayer game?
Yeah, it was just to make it so you could play it with a friend.
Okay, I mean that's fine, I guess. But
that's where they first said the words Luigi was with Luigi's Mansion 1.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3 is so good. So yeah, I'd play more. I really liked Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah, Dark Moon. People said it's good, but they said they didn't love the segmented nature of it because you were in multiple mansions with all their own theme, so it didn't feel
that
like
was what 3 was like.
Was it?
Yeah,
because it was
it's a
floors, right?
It was a hotel, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But again, I liked it because there's a dinosaur level, there's a medieval level.
Right.
And it was really fun and wacky, but I could see it. It didn't have the eerie tone that the GameCube one has.
Right. So the second from the end, Pikmin 4 and also 1 and 2.
See, that's the thing I was hinting at. The 1 and 2, it was like, okay, well, why didn't Luigi's Mansion 1
why
come
didn't they
out?
do that with Luigi's Mansion? I guess so. It's probably just more complicated. They're on 3DS rather than... Like, the Pikmin games are probably easier to put on Switch than I guess. You'd assume, though, that with Luigi's Mansion, they'd be making the 3DS one work.
So that it can still be multiplayer?
Or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Pikmin.
Okay, Pikmin 4 looks great. I really like that there's indoor environments because I really like the game Chibi Robo.
Definitely got those vibes.
And
sure.
I was so excited that
I hope
we're gonna go explore somebody's house and
what if there's a Chibi Robo treasure or something?
There might be, honestly.
That'd be cool.
Like no joke, because it would be a good.
It'd be a good random
reference.
Nintendo treasure.
Yeah, especially because you're finding if you
Game
could
Boys.
find a lifeless corpse of Chibi Robo and you just have to carry it back. Yeah, I want that.
Yeah,
but yeah, it looked really good. Every game has the depth now.
Yeah, totally. Definitely had so many this is just like you can tell that there's some creative synergy between the different Nintendo teams. Like just having this dark mode where everything's dark and the enemies are more dangerous and you get around with glowy stuff
Oh yeah, they announced the new Glow Pikmin.
Glow Pikmin, yeah.
Which he looks like a little ghost. Looks cute.
Yeah. That's not the first. No, there's more new ones, right?
The ice one is new, but they had already announced that.
There's one other one, right?
Of new ones?
I think so.
I don't think So, I think the only new, but it's the thing that's significant is all of the old ones are back.
Right.
Which not all of the old ones were in
purple,
3.
Purple and white were not in 3,
And
even
now
though they were in 2.
And now all of the Pikmin. It's a big Smash Bros. Ultimate everyone's here thing.
Yeah.
And so they haven't showed any gameplay of Rock Pikmin, but he's in official art and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So
That could be... It could be like 3, where the multiplayer has all the Pikmin.
Yeah.
Even if it's not in the main story.
But yeah, I'm excited. The glow Pikmin look weird. You can put them into a giant ball and shoot them. Did you see that part?
No, say it again.
Okay, so in the night section, which is the only time that the glow Pikmin are available, and it might be the only Pikmin that come out at night.
Yeah.
It's hard to say for certain at this point, but you can, rather than just like send all your Pikmin to that enemy, you can amalgamate all your glow Pikmin into a giant glowing ball and throw the entire glowing ball at an enemy to have like a crazy powerful attack.
Yeah.
So
cool.
I wonder if that's the only ability you can do with those, or if like maybe glow Pikmin is the only Pikmin at night, but you can do them into a big ball and you can do all these different powers with them. I'd be interested if that's the case.
Totally.
Where rather than, it's a limited section where you're only dealing with these Pikmin, it's like, these Pikmin have way more abilities and like weird wacky quirks than the other ones, but they only come out at night.
Yeah, it looks cool. I'm excited. I like the way they're integrating multiplayer into the main story.
Do we want to get into Pikmin spoilers? Can I talk about this?
For what?
The first game. Have you played the first game?
No, actually.
Okay.
I've played 2 and 3.
This is like kind of Pikmin spoilers. So if you don't want any spoilers, don't listen to this at all. Skip 1 minute exactly. Okay. So in the first game, there's a time limit, right? So you can get a hard fail in Pikmin 1.
Right.
Where you lose the game. Right? Not just die and respawn.
Oh my goodness, I'm excited about what you're probably going to say.
Okay, so the end cutscene, when you lose Pikmin 1, is they take Olimar to the onion. He gets sucked into the onion, and out comes a Pikmin like thing to be plucked from the ground, which is Olimar's head, but with a Pikmin leaf on top. Okay? The Dandori battles in Pikmin 4 say, who's this leafy guy who kind of looks like Olimar but has a leaf coming out of his head?
This is incredible.
Some people are thinking, is it a
every
dude?
Every time you died in the original Pikmin, you created one of those.
So there's theories that this is a dude. This is just a different dude that kind of looks like Olimar because most of the people kind of look the same. But
he's wearing the suit and everything, right?
So maybe this is just a dude that ended up not being able to escape the island and ended up turning into a Pikmin, or multiverse.
Yeah,
it is Olimar. That's it.
That's incredible.
No spoilers.
I love it. Yeah, I love the idea that in Pikmin 1, restarting was going back in time or whatever and leaving behind a corpse.
Dude, it's crazy. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
For if that even, maybe it's not the case at all, but it looks like considering that, it might be the case. But anyway, Pikmin 1 and 2 came out digital. It was a shadow drop.
Yep.
They're out or they say later today. I don't think they do they're out right nows anyway. I think they often say later today just so that people aren't I checked.
Yeah, they always say later today.
Just because it's it'll be in 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
But that's great if you haven't played those, which I really haven't. I played 2 multiplayer with you, which 2 multiplayer is so good.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So I hope 3. It honestly looks less good to me.
4?
Or sorry, 4's multiplayer looks less good because it was. 2 was a capture the flag thing,
right?
which I really liked.
It was very like strategy, like it made it feel like a Command and Conquer type game.
Yeah, which was awesome. Which, I mean, I hope this one feels similar.
I mean, that is the genre, even though it's a very weird version of that genre.
Yeah, I heard somebody saying this might be where real-time strategy lives on, is because real-time strategy games, it feels more like real-time strategy games just got dissected, and certain genres took it. Like MOBAs are kind of
the
real-time strategies, but as if you're playing one character.
Yeah.
And like, there's another genre, auto play,
auto battle, auto chess
type
all those
games are also kind of have DNA of real-time strategy games. Even what are they called? Muso games, the Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah.
Those have some real-time strategy elements to them.
Yeah.
So it feels like real-time strategy's dead, but all of this DNA is going to these other games.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Pikmin is like probably the closest.
Yeah.
Because you are like sending troops
So
here.
this one you are controlling multiple captains, right? Like
it's hard
similar to 3?
It didn't really show that. It looks more like you are controlling, because there's a customizing.
I feel like the recent gameplay demo they had, like you...
Are you?
I think you
Or
added...
did it just show 2 different customized characters?
I remember throwing... Oh, yeah, well, I remember you throwing a captain. Like,
in the trailer?
In one of the trailers.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Then probably.
Because that's how it's been, is Pikmin 1, you just controlled 1, then 2, you controlled 2, 3, you controlled 3. I don't think they'll do 4 for 4, but I assume there'll still be multiple.
Yeah. But it looks good to me. I want to play it. I like that there's more progression things in that you can like upgrade abilities and stuff. I think that's cool. Yeah. Like, I feel like some people might not like that, but I actually think it really works in this kind of game.
Yeah.
Because it kind of felt bad to like, ooh, I collected more stuff. But then all the stuff is just like, yeah, good, you did it.
Yeah.
And to be able to like collect more stuff, and that's, I'm collecting more stuff so that I can upgrade my thing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see also the how they gate like the beating the game. Like, is it like, it's not gonna, I doubt it'll be like 1 where there's a hard fail.
I really doubt that. I think
2, I don't think it'll be 2 either.
Did 3 have a hard fail if you ran out of food?
So 3 was about fruit, and the fruit was powering your ship. So,
but it was also, you had to drink it like every time. Like, you ate a bottle or whatever of fruit juice.
Yeah.
So if you ran out,
you would lose. But it was really hard to run out of juice if you were a decent video game player.
Yeah, the one part that was like maybe an issue was the one part where your brother drank everything.
Yeah, so you could fail that game, but it's like, it's very unlikely.
Did you ever do it? Do you know
fail?
If yeah.
No.
Do you know if there actually is a hard lose? Like, do you begin the game again? Or does it say like game over?
It might just bring you back a little bit.
And you just start up with like,
I don't know,
a few things.
Well, that's the thing.
It's
it's so easy that I don't think it would matter if they did make it a hard lose.
Right.
Because if you couldn't,
you shouldn't be playing.
Like, you wouldn't get very far if you couldn't get, like, you would start from not that far in anyway.
True, but if you're the like brother part, I know that was also not the hardest thing, but there's one part where you lose all your fruit.
I assume
if it happened, and that's hours in, that would really suck. So Pikmin 1, the reason why it's actually not so bad is, if you look it up, it doesn't take that long to beat Pikmin 1. It's like a 5-hour game.
Yeah. I wonder if there were save points. Like, I don't think you could have saved every day, because if you were locked into a save in one day and there's no fruit,
right,
like, for you to get where you're, like, you couldn't feasibly get enough fruit because you wasted it.
Right. It might just respawn you and give you some fruit.
Maybe.
Like, give you something.
Maybe.
But I don't know. Pikmin 4 looks great. 1 and 2, I'm gonna get, but the physical versions don't come out until September.
Pikmin 1 and 2? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it that far?
It's that far.
I didn't know that.
Which is probably why they didn't mention it at all.
Right.
But it's weird that they didn't mention it, but I guess that's why, because they didn't want people to be like,
yeah,
oh,
well,
September.
with Metroid, it was only a few weeks, right?
Yeah. Which sucks, because I really want to play them now, because I was like, if the timing's right, because they're not the longest games ever, and they're really linear, so it's not like there's tons of side stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
You could get through probably all 3 of the games before 4 comes out.
Yeah.
But I like physical games too much.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of Nintendo releasing games that are hard to obtain.
Yeah.
On the Switch.
Because those are $100 games right now.
Yeah.
If you're trying to get them on GameCube.
And just having games that we know are unlikely to be released in a virtual console type fashion.
Yeah.
And this applies to the 3DS ports, but stuff that is difficult to port. You can't just move it over because of the control scheme or whatever. I am very glad that those things are happening, because a lot of the DS and 3DS games we may never get.
Yeah, and some it makes sense, but others it's like, oh, come on,
just a little bit of work would make it happen.
I know. I still want Kid Icarus.
That could happen. If they, because they're not gonna make a new Kid Icarus game unless they re-release that.
Did that game not sell well?
It sold well for the time, but it was early in the 3DS.
Oh, and the 3DS didn't sell well at the very beginning, right? That's why
the
they
3DS
dropped
was
so
doing
fast.
Poorly when Kid Icarus came out.
That's why they did a price drop so fast.
Yeah, I think it happened after the price drop, but the 3DS sales hadn't picked up yet.
I thought Kid Icarus was pretty close to the beginning.
It was in the first year, I think, but I don't know.
I definitely remember it as in my head, it's one of the first 3DS games I had.
3DS came out 2011, so it was probably either 2011 or 2012, because it came out in
that game's
summer.
So
I think.
Good. Oh my goodness. Anyway, what's the next thing?
The next thing is the final thing, which was
no.
What?
You're forgetting.
What?
The next thing is not the final thing.
What am I missing?
Nintendo Live 2023. Go with your family and play some Nintendo games. Okay, now you can go to the last thing.
Did you know that in other territories, well, actually, I don't know about all of them, but in Europe, they talked about tournaments.
I guess that makes sense. Well, they did talk about those tournaments a little bit.
Yeah, they talked about Splatoon tournaments or Mario Kart tournaments or something like that.
Yeah. Which that all makes sense. Why would you talk about a thing you can't even get close to?
Yeah. Which we're going to get to go to it based on the rollout of tickets.
I thought about it. Well, I thought about going to PAX West.
Yeah, but it's not
if you go to PAX West, you get put into a draw.
Yeah, but it's still a draw, right? You don't even guaranteed to go.
But I would be fine if I didn't go, because PAX is cool.
Is fun enough. Yeah, I guess so. I'm having a baby at that time, so
right,
it's not gonna work out.
Not gonna try and go to PAX as well.
No.
Yeah, I don't think I'm actually gonna end up going to PAX, but I might.
It's the first year in which that would make sense in a while.
Yeah.
No.
It would be fun.
It'd be fun.
Listen,
did you put yourself in the draw?
No.
Because there was
because the thing,
anyone can enter draw before June 23rd, which is yesterday. So I don't think you can anyway.
Whatever. I honestly don't care that much about it.
There was
it looks
you can enter a tournament,
but it
and
also
win a ticket.
Oh really?
I think it was I don't know if it's an in-person tournament or if it's online.
It looks like it's just games that are out though, right?
Yeah.
It's but
it will be it. I assume Mario RPG and stuff will be there. Mario Bros. Wonder will probably be there, because they're only a couple months from
but
September.
Okay, Wonder would be the one thing because I wouldn't care about
Playing Mario RPG.
Mario RPG because
I've already played it.
Well, I'll get it probably, but it's a demo. Why would you play an RPG demo?
No,
no.
I just mean that it's also a remake. Like, you're not like it'll look and sound cool, but
I know
Mario Bros. Wonder, you're more like, what is like?
Yeah.
Anyways, we should get into that. Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
It looks so good.
Was the new 2D Mario.
Best 2D Mario they've ever made, possibly. It's the best 2D Mario
since Mario World.
Yeah, that they've. It's the best 2D, or it's the most creative 2D Mario in a while, where it actually feels like there's cool new stuff, new art style, new power-ups.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I think it is like it feels like the next evolution of New Super Mario Bros. To me.
Okay, you think that? That's interesting. Because I had multiple thoughts. Was either this is like, okay, and now this is how the 2D Marios are going to look for a while. Is this art style?
Oh, okay. I don't mean that.
Okay.
I just mean that I don't see it as this giant departure from the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Like,
no, it's not.
It's closer than. I don't mind it being that. It's similar, like
the problem was
CG flat aesthetic.
The problem is that Super Mario, like New Super Mario Bros. DS, like New Super Mario Bros. And then New Super Mario Bros. Wii were really close. Like they felt like almost, oh, this is the DS game, but on the Wii, and you can play with 4 people. Like it was different, but it felt like that a bit. And then the Wii to the Wii U one was also like, okay, they added the squirrel thing, but the squirrel thing wasn't enough to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is a brand new game.
Yeah.
And so it kept feeling like, and then New Super Mario Bros. 2 on the 3DS, I did not like.
I remember it being all right. They had DLC for it that was good.
Really?
Do you remember that?
I didn't like the concept of collecting coins.
I think it would have been cool if Wario was the bad guy.
It makes sense for Wario to be the bad guy in a rich game.
That's what they should have done, just because coins.
So, if you haven't seen the trailer, just go watch it. But I'm gonna try and describe the art style. It reminds me of the Captain Underpants movie and the Peanuts movie.
Yeah.
In that it is 3D. But it's got some 2D-ish elements. I think his mouth is drawn on in 2D.
Yeah.
And then
the Popeye demo reel.
Yeah. So it's 3D, but it's always aware of the camera. So like when you're turning left or when you're turning right, you're actually like faced towards the camera a bit. Like when you're running,
it's 3D animation with 2D animation
philosophy.
Philosophy.
Where like you're running left, but you're actually running like the way your body looks
slightly forward.
Is you're running slightly forward towards the camera, but you're just going left. But it looks good.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when they showed off. Do you remember when they showed off Link Between Worlds on the 3DS?
Mm-hmm.
And they showed what it would be like if you saw it from a side view and all the characters were like slanted backwards.
Right.
And it was like just basically showing this looks good from this camera angle, but no other camera angle.
That's right. I do remember that actually.
That
was interesting.
Where it's like, this is made for this. That's why
camera
there's a
angle,
fixed camera.
Right. Yeah, no, yeah. It does, like, it's the perfect, like, it encapsulates what the concepts for the old Mario games, like, if they could have made whatever they wanted back then, I feel like it would look something like this. Like, because it has the, like, concept art style of like Super Mario 3, Super Mario World. Like you can feel that genealogy in this game where like
A lot of people were talking about Super Mario Bros. 2 when it popped up, and I think it was just that Super Mario Bros. 2 was so weird and like
that's part of it.
Dreamlike.
Well, it was kind of the first one to do that style,
Yeah.
like the what Mario 3 and World eventually did. I guess World is actually kind of different in my opinion aesthetically. Like
It is, yeah.
2 and 3 are more close, like in terms of like
Well,
the Mario pixel.
It's also a different console, so
Yeah, definitely. But Mario has a very unique look in Mario World.
yeah.
Like very distinct from any other one, I think. And this one kind of similarly. Like he's got this like strange like old look to him, you know? Like he doesn't look like the new Mario models, but he doesn't quite look like the old ones either.
It's good. They've kind of cemented down what he kind of should look like, and now they're just doing like variations on that. Like that's how I felt about the Mario RPG too. Is like he doesn't not look like Mario, but he's a little scrumpet.
Yeah.
Is like, and that one was kind of just to replicate the art style of the original, but it also didn't. He definitely looks more like modern Mario than he does the original RPG.
Sure, yeah.
But anyway, Mario Wonder, there's these weird talking flowers, which I can almost guarantee are going to get annoyed.
It seems like they're fully voiced, which is very weird.
It's so wild.
And that's why I'm like, is more than just the flowers
Mario
voiced?
says wowie zowie, and in the Japanese trailer, he said wonderful, which I don't know if he's going to say wonderful in this one too, and they just didn't show it.
Well, he's got it, because Wonder.
Yeah. But it looks...
wonderful.
It looks so fun. It looks so wacky.
Yeah.
They showed grind rails.
Yeah.
That looked like Sonic, but fun. Because you can like grind on them, but you can also jump up from underneath and basically grind on them with your hand.
Nice.
And then there's... What was the other? Oh, you can glide with your hat, and I still can't tell if that's that was that
Power
level or power up, or if that's a core mechanic.
I don't know.
It was unclear because it was just like they just jumped off and started doing it.
Maybe it's a hold A type thing, or I don't know.
Which that would be cool. That would make it more like Rayman Legends, where you had a little bit of a glide thing.
That's true, yeah.
And that could make some pretty cool. That's a good way of making fast levels where like it's because you're jumping and moving, and it's like, oh, I need to glide. Okay, let's glide, and you can make some pretty long jumps and stuff. It gives just a little more, like, you can make more speed to it, I feel like.
Yeah.
If you can make these long jumps where you're, like, gliding and stuff. I talked to a friend of ours, Ian Park.
Okay.
And I said, hey, you going to play the new Mario game with me? He's like, yeah, sure. And then I was like, yeah, because you've played because he's not really a video game guy.
Yeah.
I was like, because you've played like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and he's like, actually, I don't think I've ever played a Mario game.
Whoa.
And I was like, that's a crime. And he was like, I think you're right. Actually, it's kind of a bad thing to never play a Mario game. Feels like funny. I haven't experienced. I'm like, yeah, we're playing that when it comes out. And he's like, yeah, I think we are.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, it looks so good, man. I hope that there's like tons of Mario characters in there. Like I know that they showed off Mario, Luigi, Peach, Daisy, Toad, specifically Yellow Toad.
I wonder if they did Yellow Toad just because Blue Toad was already in 3D World.
I think that's what it is. I think because I said this already, but not in the podcast, but earlier with you, that they New Super Mario Bros. Luigi. Oh my goodness, what is that game called?
New Super Luigi U.
Not the Luigi one, just the normal one. U Deluxe.
Yeah.
The 4 characters are Mario, Luigi, Yellow Toad, Toadette, because of the Peach crown thing, and then Nabbit as well.
That's such a weird thing.
But that was interesting to me that they took Blue Toad out of it, and that was before 3D Worlds port, right?
Yeah.
So they had that thought already that
I wonder.
like Blue Toad is going to be reserved for
Okay, they also showed
3D World.
They also showed Yoshi being both playable and rideable.
Yeah, that was interesting, right?
In the same level.
Right.
Like it showed, if you look at the left, it shows like the characters that are in play, and it showed Mario and Luigi. So it looked like it was 2 players, but then Mario jumped on Luigi.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's like a Donkey Kong Country thing, where you can play as Diddy Kong riding on Donkey Kong's back.
I hope the game has like a recruitment mechanic where you like find characters throughout the game.
It'd be cool. My guess is it's more just gonna be like a 3D world where you get to a certain point.
Start with 4, unlock maybe 1 or 2 more.
Yeah. Also, the Yoshi color schemes, is different.
There's already 5 characters.
There's already 5 characters.
2 plumbers, 2 princesses, and Toad.
Yeah.
You think there must be another Toad, right?
There's either another Toad, or I feel like it's gonna be like Rosalina.
Rosalina would make sense. It'd be weird it'd actually be kind of weird if she wasn't in it.
Yeah.
In any way.
Then it would be 3 princesses. Maybe
I didn't really pay attention and haven't seen anyone else say. Is there evidence that the characters are asymmetric in gameplay, or are they identical?
I think they might be identical. I didn't see anything, or maybe they just haven't shown anything.
We got Peach with a plumber hat.
Yeah.
That glide mechanic, Peach just pulls out the same hat that Mario and Luigi have, which is like, okay.
Yeah,
it's fine, I guess.
Is good. I mean, that also, I can't tell if that makes me think it's a power-up more or a core mechanic. I don't know. I feel like the glide might be a core mechanic.
Yeah, I could see that.
But yeah, that game looks so good. I'm so excited to play it. I feel like it's been a while since I've played like I was gonna do it with the Kirby Return to Dreamland Deluxe. Yeah, I was gonna like buy that and get some friends over, because I've been wanting like that, just 4-player going through levels, because that's so fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I want that experience again. He turns into an elephant. We didn't mention the elephant.
The elephant in the room, man.
Is a literal elephant.
Everyone, I got sick of that joke from every reaction.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Okay, guys, but seriously,
they didn't really show what it did.
No,
so whatever.
The only thing I could think is maybe it goes against the core concept of Mario, and you can't jump because they didn't show him jump. They just showed him walk.
Maybe it's like Rambi.
Maybe. I wonder how it's gonna be different. The only thing I can think is that, when you have that power up, you don't jump. Well, hopefully you don't jump as high, because then that wouldn't make
That'd
the
be
weight.
Weird.
I feel like it's gonna be like you don't jump as high, but your ground pound is insane. Like it sends shockwaves, and there's gonna be certain sections that you just, to tear through these blocks, you need to be an elephant.
Yeah. I like that they're doing what Mario Odyssey did, where they just said there's no rules. You know?
Yeah.
Like Wonder Seed means anything can happen.
Well, yeah. So I kind of said this to you in that like group chat we have, is I feel like this is a game where they had so many ideas, and they were just like, this is a fun idea, and they were like, yeah, that's fun, but it gets old pretty quick.
It doesn't vibe with the...
Oh, what about this idea? Oh, that's cool, but like...
We can't do that for a whole game.
For a whole game. And then they were like, why do we have to? And just did, every
Wonder Seed... That was the impression, right? Is a Wonder Seed means whatever.
Yeah, there's... So you collect 2 Wonder Seeds per level, but it seems like one is just for beating it, and one is for like going into the Wonder Flower thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's going to play into it at all. I also
it seems interesting.
Wonder if, like, what does that mean for the final boss? Dude, that's going to be so nuts.
Well, because it must be like, you can beat the level normally and not have a Wonder Seed throughout, and you just get the one at the end. Or you get the Wonder Seed partway through, and it changes. Like, you must do that for every level or whatever.
Yeah, but it also looked like once you get the Wonder Seed, it reverts back to normal, and you just play the rest of the level.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Because when he got the Wonder Seed in the first part, he gets the Wonder Seed, and it all just kind of like back to normal.
Wait,
I don't think it kicked him out of the level.
so what messed up? Is it the Wonder Flower?
Yeah, that's
okay.
the like that's the like thing you find,
Okay.
and then the Wonder Seed is like the collectible, like the star
Got
cards or
it.
whatever.
Okay. I didn't fully connect the dots.
I feel
there.
like there's gonna be a weird thing where you collect all these Wonder Seeds and then you plant them, and you.
Sure.
That's gonna be my guess. Is that's how they're gonna like gate the next area? Is you have to get 20 Wonder Seeds, and it gets you to a new level, or it makes you just slightly more insane. This is gonna be the mental illness Mario, where at the end he's just gonna be like, I've seen so much.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people saying like, a good thing they didn't make them like Wonder Mushrooms. Like,
Yeah. I wonder if that was an actual like concern.
no, we can't do mushrooms.
Yeah, like, okay, I know mushrooms are a thing, but like if we do a Wonder Mushroom where eating a mushroom makes you see wild things,
It's already
We're
a
gonna get-
flower.
Yeah.
Like,
let's just keep it as a flower. It'll be fine.
yeah.
But yeah, that game looks so
Looks
wacky.
good. Animations are top notch. And I'm just glad they're doing weird things with Mario again.
Yeah. I don't understand why they weren't.
I saw someone say, I think a YouTube comment say this, that was, it's incredible that the main Mario games are allowed to be more weird than the spin-offs now. Than like Paper Mario.
Yeah. Well, so I also have theories that maybe this Mario. So the talking flowers is what made me feel this way. Is that was the like WarioWare / Super Mario Maker team involved in any way in the Wonder?
I don't know.
Because those speaking flowers kind of reminded me of like how Super Mario Maker has weird voice elements.
Oh, sorry. Did you say Okay, I've heard you say WarioWare.
Is it? Are they not? Is there not crossover in the Mario Maker and WarioWare teams? Oh, okay.
Those are different teams.
Okay.
Mario Maker is the 2D Mario team that did all the new Super Mario Bros. And this is presumably them as well.
Maybe it's just that they did Mario Maker 2 and they had fun getting weird.
It is interesting. I did have those, like, there are some elements here that, like, yes, the flowers do have this, like, essence of the comments. Like, the comments in Mario Maker. Like, there's some interesting Mario Maker, like, things that they allude to in this game.
There's that. Maybe also the playing Mario Maker and just this level, and then you play the next level, and it's completely different, and then you play the next level,
I was
and
thinking
it's completely different. Maybe that sparked the idea
the
of
moon, the moon in Mario Maker 2, where you get it, and like I think it affects gravity or something. But anyway, it changed. Like you collect it, and it changes the level or whatever. Like it had that kind of vibe as well.
Oh, so that's why a lot of people were referencing it.
Were they?
A lot of people were saying Mario, like it reminded them of Mario 2 because I didn't know.
I'm saying Mario Maker 2.
Oh, Mario Maker 2.
The moon, you know, you can collect the moon.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like
Man,
there was the
game got
angry
so
sun, and then when you made it in night mode, it was a moon, and if you collected it, it affected the level. I think it was different depending on the layout.
Yeah, it made it like nighttime and did weird stuff. It made
One of them was gravity. One of them was like, I think it was like speed mode, like it makes the screen go faster or something like that. It was a bunch of things. So it does have this like, like
I wonder if there's probably DNA from Mario Maker 2.
100%.
I bet you also just like I said, the whole you can do a 10 level run in Mario Maker 2 and all it would be was random user generated levels. But
Yeah.
that the idea of that was every single level was just completely different, unlike a Mario World where you do level 1 and then you do level 2 and they're similar but have some new ideas. And then Wonder, I hope, is just like every single level will be, once you get the flower, is like completely different from the last level.
Yeah.
The flower just like, yeah, okay, so last time it made pipes do weird. Okay, this time you're in 4 dimensions.
Yeah. There's absolutely DNA from Mario Maker. Like, we already are talking about it, but the talking flowers really do, like, you know how you play a level with comments on in Mario Maker and they like kind of guide you through it? Like, it's very similar, actually.
It was a weird, I feel like they're going to get annoyed, though. I do.
Maybe you can turn them off, like the comments.
I wonder if you can turn them off, or maybe at least, like...
They're only talking in close proximity.
They are, which is fine. But maybe, like, oh, you play that level again, and they're not there.
Right.
It's because...
But they were funny, too. Like, the one... Did you see the one when he gets the elephant?
Yeah, that Goomba looks so serene, and then you just boot him.
Well.
Oh, well then.
Well, then.
But
it looks awesome.
But that could get... Yeah, I'll play it all day. I'm going to get my non-video game friends to play it because it looks simple.
Multiplayer.
It looks simple enough. It looks goofy enough.
Yeah. Again, I hope you just, like, I hope we got all the Mario cast in there. Let's put them all in, you know? Why not?
Yeah.
We barely saw Bowser, too. We saw him, like, in a...
Yeah, we saw the airship.
But
which
was
looked
barely
really cool.
Really
it
cool,
looked
yeah.
like if Joker made Bowser's airship.
Did you assume that it's powered by Wonder Seeds or something like that?
I assumed that, and that's why I also said I think the final world and the final boss are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I think it might just be like random stuff happening.
Yeah.
Similar to like how Calamity Ganon in Breath of the Wild was just like, oh, everything you've learned,
Yeah.
You have to do that. Now you have to do a flurry rush. Now you have to, like, deflect a thing. Now you have to deal with fire. Now you have to deal with electricity. Like, where he was just everything. That's how I want Bowser to be. I want Bowser to be just this insane beast that can just do anything and, like, eat a Wonder Seed and then become something new. And then eat another one and and the gravity changes or something.
Yeah.
I want that to be the final boss, where it's just
That'd
like...
be awesome.
It almost feels like a randomly generated boss just because you don't know what's going to happen when he eats the next thing.
Yep, I'm excited to see what the final product is. It's very fun that they're doing just crazy things with Mario.
Yeah.
Because they weren't for a while, especially in the 2D space.
Yeah.
Like, we got 4 games of New Super Mario Bros. With, like, some variation, but, like, it was so similar across the 4. Like, yeah, it's just good that they get to start fresh and, like, do their own thing. And, like, yeah, it definitely feels like this team, like, has learned from Mario Maker, from all the previous New Super Mario Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And just gets to do something different.
Do you think the art style is going to change the next game, or do you think they're going to try and stick to this art style for at least a couple games?
This feels like a one-off to me.
It does to me, too.
Especially because of the titling.
Like, yeah, that's true.
Super Mario Bros. Next one doesn't have to be connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I don't know. I could see them sticking with it at the same time. Like, even if they did a Wonder 2 or a you know, not necessarily called Wonder 2, but it is
essentially
the same thing.
They would just have to
it's a Galaxy 2 essentially, because they're like, oh, it was a great idea. Let's do some more of it. Which I thought we would have had an Odyssey 2 by now, but I think at this point, everybody keeps asking for Odyssey 2 to be announced, but I'm like, I think they're at the point where it's going to be
console or a different game.
No, I'm saying it won't be an Odyssey 2. I don't think it will be Odyssey 2 at this point.
Do you think it'll be on next console then?
Well, yeah, I think it'll be a launch game for the next console, but I think it will be brand new.
You don't think it'll be an Odyssey 2? Do you think it'll
I
have...
think we're past that being the
Okay.
announcement, right?
So you think...
Like, I think if it was, we would know about it.
Is
by
it
now.
going to be a like mix of Bowser's Fury and Odyssey then, where it's kind of even more open, where like you don't have to go on your ship to go to the next area?
Yeah, I mean, I assume there'll be some open worldness to it. I don't think it will literally be an open world, but it will feel like an open world, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like where everything is, like I don't think we'll be loading new areas, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like I think we'll be segmented worlds.
Watch them go wild, and it's Mario Galaxy 3.
That would be crazy.
Dude, if it's Mario Galaxy 3, but with like the concept of Mario Odyssey, where you go into a galaxy and the galaxy is just open, and
that'd be wild. I can't see that. But that'd be crazy.
It's not happening, but I'd be so in.
I think we're gonna get a brand new Mario game, 3D Mario game. Like, again, because if following the Zelda pattern, I think we would know about it if it was Odyssey 2. I think we would have got an announcement a year or two ago. It'd be weird to me if because when they announce it, it's gonna be coming out the same year, right?
Do you hold any credence to these Donkey Kong rumors?
Maybe I could see because they were saying people think that the main Mario team's making a Donkey Kong game.
Yeah,
I could see it. They made one before, Jungle Beat.
Oh, they did Jungle Beat.
Yeah,
yeah. Oh, Jungle Beat's so good.
yeah. Me and you are definitely gonna do a Nintendo Teams dive at some point.
Oh man, Jungle Beat was so good, dude. I want Jungle Beat. Bring that to Switch.
Yeah, sure.
Dude. If they brought Jungle Beat to Switch, and do whatever place controls to make it nice, but if they allowed the like taiko drums. The like drums for the like Japanese rhythm game.
Yeah.
If they allowed that to work.
That'd be crazy.
Because it could.
I mean, it would work.
All you would need to do, because it doesn't have like the clap functionality, but it does.
Just a button.
No, it has like you can hit
Edge.
the rim of the drum. So rather than clapping, you're just hitting the rim.
Yeah. Another thing that won't happen, but it'd be cool.
Dude, but like it could. I could see them porting it. I wouldn't see them do the taiko.
They do the
thing.
Wii one though.
Yeah, which is fine.
It works. It's not cool. It's not as cool, but it works.
Yeah, I have 3 of those drums.
Great.
I'm just bragging.
Okay, great.
So you can play Donkey Kong 3-player.
Yeah. I could see him making a Donkey Kong game. It's not impossible. But feels like we know. Feels like we know as well. Anyways, that was the podcast. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for joining me.
Thanks. You're welcome. Thanks.
And listener, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us today.
Dude, fella, dad.
Dad.
It's going to be dad only.
I hope you enjoyed all those things you don't understand, Dad.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.